Hokey pokey, let's see here. We're going to add buttons so we can move our little rocket ship up and down. We're not going to move him back and forward, we're just going to move him up and down. One of the things I do is prepare by writing stuff down. And you see I have my pin numbers written down, and it corresponds with, let's go back to the buttons here. Okay, so you see I've got D3 attached to 0 and D14, so this is K1, K2, K3, K4 on my little buttons, and D3 is GPIO 0, D5 is GPIO 14. Okay, so you have the voltage 3.3. These are 3.3 tolerant, don't go over 3.3 volts, but you want to have a high value resistor to limit any current flow in so you don't blow anything up. And it sets it to a high. It sets that pin to a high. And then you have the button connected to it, and the other side of the button is connected to ground. And when you push the button, it connects it to low, to a 0. So when it's high, you've got an input of a 1, and when it's low, you've got an input of a 0. Alright, so over here to the code, I have some cheat code in here for me to look at. And you've got, let's rename these button 1, and for button 1 we have 0. Okay, so then we need, we need 3 more buttons. So button 2, button 3, button 4, and button 2 is connected to 14. Now we're not going to use all these buttons right now. We're just going to use the first 2, but we'll go ahead and set them up. And here in setup, we need to set the pin mode for button 1 to an input, and I read about the difference between input and input pull-up, and I don't care for input pull-up for what we're doing. That's just me. Okay, so this is, we are initializing 2, 3, 4 each button, and then we're going to go down here in our loop and we're going to test to see if those buttons were pressed. If digital read, oh man, let me go up to my, make sure I'm doing this right. There we go. Digital read. Make sure I can spell. Okay, if digital read button 1 equals 0, then tell you what, let's test it out. Let's not just get too far and print. And here's another thing that I could do differently. Button 1 equals, because there's a way to format this, and I've seen it several times and I've got to learn how to do it. I've just never done it as many years as I've been using this. Okay, and we are going to write quit it. I don't know what that new dealy bopper does for you. Okay. Alright. Button 1. Let's see if it smokes. Okay, so I already put in my button numbers, assign my pins to buttons, so we don't need this now. And it's compiling. So that's always a good sign. Just see if I did it right. La 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 la. Whew. Okay. So now then, let's open up. We initialized our serial. Okay, good. We initialized our serial monitor, and we've got it set over here, and we're going to press a button. Button 1 equals 0. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Okay, so every time we press button 1, you can't see it. There it goes. See it? It's faster than I can push, so it's going to press a whole bunch of times, but that's not going to hurt us any. Alright, so good news is we have button pressing, and home, where am I? Where's my, oh, it was in the serial monitor still. Okay, so let's go with button 2 and button 2 and button 2. You know, most people making videos would speed up this part of the video, but I'm not going to edit the video. This is all pure live take, folks, so deal with it. Okay, so we're going to do some monkeying around down here next to give our little rocket some movement, or different movement. Okay, so we should see a button 2 and a button 1. Alright, so we're done with our serial monitor for right now. So okay, so instead of reading our buttons, I don't care, we'll leave this code in for right now. We are going to increment X. Let's see. We press button 1, we want him to go up. So actually, no, we're not doing X. Okay, let's go down here and talk about this. Okay, so we're using X to move the rocket up and down. So we're not going to do that. We're going to use Y. So X, we're going to make him, where do we want him? We want him all the way at the screen. We found out last time that we had to back him out. Decrement. Yeah, we had to make him go all the way to a -20. Okay? So what we're going to do up here, we're just going to make him go to 20. So this is screen width. X equals screen width. We're going to leave it at that. So that just should put him fully visible right inside the left-hand side of our screen. Okay, but now then, what we're going to monkey with our buttons is Y. And why not? Ha 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 ha. Okay. Display height. Screen height. I don't have anything with the screen height. Let's see. Let's get the copy. Where did copy go? There it is. And go down here, and for Y, we're going to put screen height minus the rocket height, and we're going to divide that by 2. Should set us right in the middle of the screen. Yeah, well, that's the way they're doing it, so Okay, so believe me. Okay, looks good. And so what we're going to do here is when we press the K1, the first button, we're going to decrement Y. We want to decrement Y, and if Y is less than or equal to 0, then, because if we keep decrementing it, it'll go into the negatives and it'll go off the screen, right? So we're going to decrement it, and if Y is less than or equal to 0, we're going to make Y equal 0 minus the rocket height divided by 2. We are dividing the rocket height by 2 because we want it to go, we want it to still be on the screen, but all the way up to the very top. We want the middle of that rocket on the very edge of the screen. If that makes sense, you'll see in a minute. Okay, so if, okay, does that look kosher? Let's do this down here. Okay, so conversely, conversely, we've got to increment Y plus plus, when we press the button to go down, and if Y is greater than or equal to screen height, where do I have screen height? Here it is. Screen height, then Y equals screen height plus, let's see if I'm wrong about this, we're going to add the half of the rocket height to it. Okay, let's see if I got all the buttons on my, I usually forget to put the stupid semicolons at the end of a line, and so inevitably I crank it up and it starts barking at me. I hear talking outside, it's making me crazy. Well, it's the neighbors across the street playing. I like them. Here we go, bloop, 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 bloop. And yeah, we already lost our rocket. Well, that's great. Let's look at our serial output. We have up and we have down. And you know what we could do? We can see where the heck our rocket's at. Let me see, it should have started right at screen width. You know what we did? I put the stupid rocket off the screen, didn't I? I did. So it's got to be screen width minus rocket width. Did not discuss that before? Because the upper left-hand corner of the icon is 0. And if we put that at rocket width, it's going to put the rest of the rocket off the darn screen. This may not make a lot of sense. Guess I could draw a picture of it. How it is. The icon has its own set of coordinates, and you move those coordinates around because it'll become important when we start. Yeah, see, here's our rocket. He's back. It'll become important when we start doing collision detection. And the button shouldn't be. Let's close this. This is well, we don't have to. We can look at it. Okay, and our rocket should go. Our rocket should go. Why is our rocket not going? Oh, okay. Oh, I dread the thought of having to redo this whole thing. I should have reviewed. So you know what you do when you troubleshoot? This is good time for that. And we're going to say Y and Y. So we can watch what Y is doing when we're pressing the up button or the down button. This may be tedious and slow. You want to watch a video that goes fast. You don't want to see people making mistakes. But maybe I'll have to redo the whole damn video tomorrow. La, 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 la. Well, I'm surprised I'm not making any typos, which is usually 90% of my problems. No, that's not true either. But we got the rocket showing back up on the screen. And we're pushing the up button. We can see the Y incrementing, and we can see the Y decrementing. But our little ship isn't going. Oh, what a dumbass. I didn't put the value into Y to change it. I thought I did that first. I was dreaming. Okay, well good. So there's some good troubleshooting tips. I like the serial print to see what's going on in the background. And yes, so we added that. And we could see the buttons were actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. But it didn't look like our little ship. Yeah, he may have been in the right range. I didn't pay that much attention. I just saw that the buttons were actually doing what they were supposed to be doing, incrementing and decrementing the vertical axis. Okay, so there he is in the middle. That's what. All right, if you remember, well, let's push buttons. There he goes up, and there he goes down. Uh-oh, we lost him. And here he came back up. So we ran him all the way off the screen. And how come he does that little jump thing up there? Okay, so the reason he's doing the jump is if it is 0, we want him to stop there at rocket height divided by 2. If it is 0 minus rocket height by 2, we want to ease him up into it. Okay, and so what's happening when we're going down? We are going clean off the screen. We're going to 74 because why are we running them off the screen? Because we're going plus rocket height divided by 2 minus 2 screen height. We don't want him to run off the screen. Let's see if I'm right about this. Screen height minus, no, I think we should be a plus. No, we shouldn't. I think I need to go take a nap. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. We'll find out. See, and I've got him right there in the middle of the screen. That is dumb luck. Okay, he's going up, and he stops, and he's going down, and he stops. He's going up, and he stops. He's going down, and he stops. Let me get this closer. I can't see a thing. That doesn't help you any. Yeah, that's halfway. That looks like it's a little more than halfway. But our next step is going to be shooting bullets. I think this one's long enough. Let's see if we can see what's happening. Is he going behind the star or in front of the star? And I believe that who is going behind who or in front of who depends on the order you have them here as they are drawn on the display. And so when we get into the stars and bullets and stuff, we'll be making sure we got them in the right order. I don't know how much that's going to affect us, how much it's going to show up, because it's all black and white, and you can't really tell who's in front of who. So anyway, that's that. That is the, you've got the little ship moving up and down and not going off the screen. And then we're going to use this button here to shoot bullets. And let's do that. Next we're going to shoot bullets. Alright, that's enough for today.